In November 2013, the boxing world paused to watch one of the most intriguing clashes in the middleweight division. On one side, Gennady Golovkin, a man who was transforming the sport with his Mexican style and a knockout streak that seemed endless. On the other, Stevens, a fighter raised on the tough streets of Brownsville, Brooklyn, known for his devastating power and explosive personality. Before the first bell even rang, the tension was already palpable. Stevens wasn't just looking to win, he was looking to humiliate. For months, he waged a psychological warfare campaign on social media and at press conferences, calling Golovkin overrated and asserting that his jaw wouldn't withstand the power of a true American puncher. The culmination of this provocation came when Stevens appeared with a real coffin bearing the initials GGG, symbolizing the burial of the Kazakh's career. In the betting, Golovkin was the overwhelming favorite, almost 5-1, but the American public was divided. Many experts believed that Stevens, with his hand speed and left hook, was the man who would finally expose Gennady's defensive weaknesses. It was the classic clash between the methodical technique of Eastern Europe and the raw aggression of New York boxing. Listen, if you're truly interested in boxing and not just watching it for entertainment, on my Telegram, I'm sharing in-depth analysis, data that doesn't make it into these videos, and strategies I'm personally studying. That's where I post what I think will happen in upcoming fights before anyone else. When the community is stronger, I'll even share some interesting opportunities that I can't mention here. It's all in the pinned comment. It's time to continue with the best fight you'll see today. Round 1, the chessboard. The fight began with a tense calm. Stevens tried to establish his dominance early, throwing left hooks, searching for that one-hit punch that would make him famous. Golovkin, true to form, stayed in the center of the ring, using his jab not only to score points, but also to gauge the exact distance. It was a reconnaissance round where Gennady began to cut off the ring, forcing Stevens to retreat, something the American wasn't used to. It was very positive of Stevens to go for a spectacular punch in this first round, but perhaps he simply wanted to control the center of the ring and demonstrate his dominance. In other words, he had shown that he was the hunter, and Golovkin would be the prey in this fight.
Golovkin has a stiff, penetrating jab. Think George Foreman. Think Lennox Lewis. Advantage from the armpit to the end of the fifth. Not likely to want to be in a jabbing contest with Golovkin. Golovkin also throws very hard body shots. So does Stevens. There's a little left hook upstairs for Curtis.
A pretty good amateur background.
Very quick fighter.
Golovkin lands a right cross first one he throws. Stevens takes it very well. Golovkin with a little straight right lead.
Has the look of a guy that knows what's in front of him.
Bringing that right hand pretty...
Just not to give Stevenson too much room, though, because he's the taller fighter, so no need to stay there. Make the taller fighter have to reach for you a little bit.
And lands a right cross. And Golovkin backs away. Not the common thing.
And speed has him taken aback a little bit, too.
Kind of smart for Golovkin to back.
Good right hand for Golovkin. Stevens again. The common thing to see Golovkin backing away from a guy, but he respects Stevens' power.
And
good left hook.
Stevens.
My hand wants to roll by itself. Okay? Now let me have a little water.
All right, a little bounce, you'll make him miss all day.
Yo, you're not moving to your right.
All right.
To the right.
Use that jab.
Takes it well. His chin has shown up pretty good in the first round.
And I think he landed a hook of his own there too, Jim.
Let's double up on that jab. Here and here. When you hit close, touch him to the body. Don't hesitate there.
In power shots landed. There's an air of tension advantage from the armpit to the end of the fifth. Not likely to want to be in a jabbing contest with Golovkin. Golovkin also throws the common thing to see Golovkin backing away from a guy, but he respects Stevens' power. Good left hook. Punctuate the round with something. Gets in a right cross.
Round 2. The moment of truth. This round is etched in the memory of the fans. Everything was going as in the first round, with Stevens looking to dominate the center of the ring and Golovkin punishing him and moving quickly whenever he could. However, midway through the round, Golovkin landed a short, sharp left hook that sent Stevens to the canvas. The image of Stevens sitting on the mat, eyes wide and an expression of pure astonishment, went viral. It wasn't just pain. It was the realization that everything he had said before the fight meant nothing against GGG's true power. Stevens managed to get up, but fear had already taken hold in his corner. He had gone from hunter to hunted. He had to hang on and regain his composure to get back into the fight. But Golovkin wasn't going to let that happen.
Across the ring. Bang Stevens into the ropes. 10 seconds to go in the round. Body shot. Looking upstairs.
Come on, baby.
Come on, you don't fall apart mentally, baby. Don't get the
Decision. Knocked out Adonis Stevenson. Knocked down Andre Ward, the only pro to do it. Curtis Stevens.
There it is. Cossack Thunder in round number 2. And Stevens doesn't.
And everybody wants to see how one fighter takes the other fighter's punch. First, who can feint who out of position and land that good clean shot.
Meanwhile, amid the chess match, Golovkin reached full 100% health again.
Be great to see it, though. Scott's home.
Well, other than the threat that a healthy Sergio Martinez might out.
Dramatic tension because of the power.
It's a chess match to see who can land the power first.
Early rounds attack.
And Stevens landed a left hook that knocked Golovkin's head back.
And everybody
Misses the left hook there. Golovkin goes back to the jab. In power shots landed. There's an air of tension.
Exactly. You're backing up too much on him. You hear me? Come on, baby. You all right, Pop?
Where you are, Curtis?
Hand. Wobble Stevens with it. One more right hand, and the round comes to a close. It's for the fireworks, expecting something big to land.
And the threat of that has already dulled Golovkin's normal.
Marvin gives boxers in major fights the benefit of the doubt to fight their way out of trouble, so I do not expect a premature stoppage tonight.
Tried one against Golovkin moments ago. Golovkin lands a left hook of his own.
Stevens hits you on the chin with a left hook. Even threw a left hook back.
Now Stevens lands a left hook.
And this is why Golovkin's
Hand. Wobble Stevens with it. One more right hand, and the round comes to a close.
is the heavy favorite here because he has the means to land the heavy thunder. It's much.
Rounds 3 and 4, the methodical demolition. From here on out, the fight became a punishment clinic. Golovkin didn't rush to go for the knockout. Instead, he began working the body. Gennady's punches sounded different, like baseball bats hitting sandbags. Stevens bravely tried to respond with quick combinations, but Golovkin's pressure was suffocating. Every time Curtis tried to catch his breath, he was met with a jab that rattled his head. CompuBox's stats were beginning to show an alarming disparity. Golovkin was landing almost 40% of his power punches, an extremely high figure for this level, especially considering that these were pure power punches to Stevens' body.
showed Stevens all night that his hook was just as good or better than Stevenson's.
Stevens not letting his hand. Uppercut by Golovkin. First one he's thrown.
Golovkin is being careful as he pursues his advantages because
Hands go now as Golovkin jabs him into position in the corner, throws a right cross, gets in a left hook to the body. Now Stevens. The right hand. Golovkin has made an impression with both power shots. The left hook and the B. Uninterested in trying to trade jabs with Golovkin. Probably worried about leaving himself open to the right hand.
pursues his advantages because of the punching power coming back at him.
And that jab is really what's setting up.
Body shot, there it was. Left hook to the liver. Right hand.
But again, hesitant to go to the body with real force because of the power of Stevens.
And the possibility of a counter shot.
Early in the fight against a big puncher.
Wear him down a little bit first.
Exactly. partially blocked both of them.
Early in control here, but being careful even as he measures Stevens for power shots.
So far,
Putting the jab out would allow him to see what punches to throw.
Body shot by Stevens, and another. It's a jab, does Curtis Stevens.
Well, the shorter fighter always is supposed to come forward anyway. Why would you fight a guy longer than you on the outside?
watch your heads.
In Stevens' corner for a few seconds and hear what he's telling his fighter as the round progresses.
Roy, was he hurt by the body shot?
Hurt by the body shot.
Another body shot for Cook, and brings some excitement to the Brooklyn fans in the crowd. An uppercut and the left hook. Taking advantage of Stevens' offense to counter with a couple of shots.
Has to be so much on the defensive that he can't punch.
Stevens at least is starting to move forward now.
Best offense we've seen from Curtis Stevens since the first round.
Yeah, he at least has some success coming forward, which
Land with you on the outside.
Stevens trying to work his way into the fight.
Good jab.
I think you have to give.
Now let's listen to Andre Rozier. Body shot for Golovkin, this with the right hand. He's got Stevens pinned against the ropes. And now Stevens erupts with two good clean.
Partially blocked both of them.
Biggest rally of the fight now for Curtis Stevens.
Those are clean shots he's landing.
And he fought that.
Rounds 5 and 6, resilience versus reality. Stevens showed tremendous heart. In the 5th round, he managed to land a couple of hooks that would have knocked out any other middleweight, but Golovkin didn't even flinch. That's the most terrifying part of facing GGG, his ability to absorb his opponent's best punch and keep moving forward. By the 6th round, Stevens' face was beginning to show the ravages of the fight, with swelling under both eyes and evident fatigue in his legs. He no longer controlled the center of the ring. He was trying to escape the danger posed by Golovkin, who was stalking him every 5 seconds. He managed to land punches, but his opponent remained unfazed. For this round, Stevens was just hoping for a miracle.
Any previous round.
On replay, you saw Golovkin actually did a good defensive job there.
That last round should have encouraged Stevens to come forward more.
3 rounds. Now countering Golovkin's big stuff with big stuff of his own.
Like
Lands
Max,
a left hook there.
Like Max said, maybe.
And you still don't get the sense that he's really connected with his money punches yet.
Golovkin back to doubling and tripling with to set up the knockdown in round 2.
You don't like to see the short.
Oh, big left hook by Stevens. Momentarily wobbled Golovkin.
So much better when he attacks first.
Cross lands.
When Golovkin works behind that jab, it's very difficult to deal with his offense.
He's going to react when Steven catches him with a real good shot flush, and that may happen based on how often Steven.
9 out of 24, but Golovkin landed 17 of 59 jabs overall, throwing 90 punches in the round.
And does not sit back and wait on Gennady Golovkin. But when he waits, Golovkin lands that jab.
Looking off the jab, something Eastern European fighters seem to do very well. Body shot for Golovkin.
Even though Sergio Martinez is still very fast and hits sneaky hard.
Right cross, and momentarily hurt Stevens.
Hurt him bad with that body shot.
Cross, right cross.
Golovkin's got to be careful with that uppercut, that right uppercut.
You gotta be careful of everything when he's on the attack.
Very active round for Gennady. He wobbled Stevens with a couple of shots and is... Another good combination for Gennady as he pins Stevens in the corner and looks to land something else big. Cross, right cross.
Golovkin's got to be careful with that uppercut.
Of course, he's very dangerous, and they're close. So that's where his arms are most dangerous at in close fighting.
Round 7, the iron liver. At this point, Golovkin decided to intensify his body attack. He used a right uppercut, followed by a liver shot that left Stevens breathless for fractions of a second. The American was in total survival mode, taking refuge on the ropes and trying to avoid unnecessary punishment. The commentators at the Garden were already saying it was only a matter of time before his corner intervened. Either he tapped out, or he would soon fall from all the punishment he had endured. And it's no wonder, Golovkin has a lot of power in his fists, and it seems miraculous that Stevens hadn't gone down again at this point in the fight.
Back, Harold, you get to stay the whole fight. And how do you have it?
Look at you, 6-0, 60-53 at the start of round 5. Harvey Dock warned Gennady Golovkin for measuring Curtis Stevens. Glove is closed. You can measure the guy, but Harvey Dock is telling him no. 6-0, Gennady Golovkin.
And now Golovkin tries to back him up again. Stevens has listened to his trainer, who told him stay in the middle before.
He doesn't really have to be this close. He should stay out with his jab and just outbox Stevens. Don't even give him a chance.
To back, Harold, you get to stay.
And the fans appreciate that kind of risk-taking, and it's one of the reasons Golovkin's becoming a fan favorite.
Round 8, the final capitulation. The final round was a monologue of pain. Golovkin landed a series of combinations that had Stevens staggering around the ring. Although Curtis finished the round on his feet, the accumulated damage was too much. Upon reaching his corner, his trainer, J.D.'s, made the wisest decision of the night. Seeing his pupil's blank stare, he asked the referee to stop the onslaught. Technical knockout. Golovkin demonstrated patience, power, and incredible resilience, enduring blows that would have sent any other boxer scrambling.
Crowd chanting Triple G, Triple G.
Submission, I don't see either guy submitting right now. And physical abuse. And Golovkin
in any way.
Oh, good left uppercut by Golovkin.
Golovkin keeps his chin tucked well, even if he doesn't always move his head. So he does get...
Now right hand body shot. Stevens with a counter left hook to try to relieve the pressure. Yeah, it looks like if we get a knockout by Golovkin, it's going to be the submission of will variety in this round. Thunder on the liver.
Golovkin's still alert enough to back off those... Oh.
Hard right hand by Snap. Landed a left shot off the ropes. Harvey Dock watching.
About to stop this one.
Landed a whipping Curtis Stevens into the corner. And he makes it out of round 8.
The legacy of the beating. Gennady Golovkin finished the night with 27 consecutive knockouts, cementing his status as the terror of the 160-pound division. Stevens, for his part, earned respect for his courage, but learned a costly lesson. In boxing, words are just words, but GGG's punches change your life forever. This fight wasn't just a title defense. It was a statement of intent. Golovkin proved that beneath his friendly smile hid the most clinical and ruthless fighter of his generation. For stats buffs, Gennady landed 161 of 413 punches thrown, while Stevens barely connected with 67, mathematical proof of the total domination we witnessed that night in New York. And that concludes today's analysis. But let me tell you something. I can't always share the most interesting things here on YouTube. There are details, predictions, and moves that I prefer to share in a more direct setting. On my private Telegram channel, I'm uploading more in-depth analyses, unfiltered opinions, and content that I don't publish anywhere else. If you're truly passionate about boxing and want to stay ahead of 90% of the crowd, join now. The link is in the description. See you inside.